Welcome to the Ringer Fantasy Football Show. My name is Danny Heifetz, and I am joined by Danny Kelly and Craig Horlbeck, and it is Power Hour, where every Wednesday we power rank something. This week, we are giving out the Midseason Fantasy Football Awards because we are somehow halfway through the NFL season, which I kind of can't believe. Also, I don't really want to hear from anyone that there's 17 games and 8 isn't really half. I don't give a shit. We're doing half.
Close. Yeah.
Nerds, I don't want to hear about how this isn't actually halfway through. No interest in that. Craig, is it? I feel like every week 8 for my entire life, we've been like, wow, it's week 8 already.
I know. It's like as you get older, like the small talk that you used to think was annoying. When you become an adult, you're like, oh, I actually am now starting to say these things every day. I'm like, man, at least it's a great day out. Boy, like when you go to an amusement park, I remember my dad used to always make the dad joke of like, when we'd get to a ride and we'd beat the line, like we'd get off the ride and then there'd be a huge line. And he'd be like, boy, did we come at the right time. I'm starting to say those things, which is the same vibe as like, can you believe we're halfway through the NFL season? So
we're burning daylight here.
With we that said, I can't believe we're halfway through the NFL season.
Days are long, years are short. Okay, so with that, let's just get to a couple things in news, and then I'll get to the midseason awards. We'll probably hit these all more in depth on the Friday episode, just previewing the week. But I want to just note, Saints benched quarterback Spencer Rattler.
Big news.
I know. They're going to start Tyler Shough. I just kind of wanted DK to remind people Tyler Shough, mostly for his scouting report. That's a lie. Somewhat for his scouting report, mostly so we could just get one pot shot in at Tyler Shough being old. And
yeah, 26 years old. I think it's ironic and hilarious that the Saints decided to pick the one guy who most resembles Derek Carr in the draft after New Orleans fans completely turned on him very quickly. He probably has a better personality, to be fair.
But statistically, definitely, probably.
The reason he's so similar
is
to
he a better
Carr,
guy or a football player, you think?
Better guy.
I don't know, honestly, because to make it to the NFL and go in the second round, you got to be pretty fucking good. He's probably a better quarterback.
Yeah.
I will say the one thing that stood out to me most on his tape is just his. I don't even know how to explain it. He is just so terrified of taking sacks that he will throw the ball wherever. There's one play in particular where he sees the pass rush coming, and it's seriously like he underhands it and goes and like throws it almost directly to a defender. I believe they dropped it, so that was fine. But
there's no polite way to say it other than I think the most objective way you could say it is Tyler Shough plays like someone who had to take 3 medical red shirt years.
Right, sure. Do you remember the play where Geno Smith saw Aaron Donald coming and goes, "Oh shit"? That is the ethos that Tyler Shough plays.
The fact Jordan Morgan being Jordan run. Tyler Jordan.
I feel like Tyler Shough is such a good example of the draft season being too long, where by the time it was actually like late April, there were a few people talking themselves into why Tyler Shough could maybe work in the NFL. And now that he's on a team and we're in the NFL season and he's in a game, you're like, how the fuck was this guy a second round pick? There's no way this is going to work. Like, there's no way.
It's just also so funny just pulling up his Tyler Shough's career college stats because there's just so many lines for college. Like it just says,
right,
like 2018, Oregon, 2019, Oregon, 2020, Oregon, Texas Tech, Louisville. And you just never see 7 years in one person.
He has 4 college degrees.
Does he really have 4?
That's 2. That's at least too many.
He has degrees from all 4?
I'm pretty sure he has 4 college degrees.
How is that possible?
I don't know. It's like Van Wilder.
He backed up Justin Herbert.
That's actually crazy.
Who's in year 5 of his career.
Justin Herbert has rookie contract has expired and he's been paid $250 million and is now outperforming that contract. And you know what? People get it. Anyway.
All this being said, though,
he's starting.
I will note, it probably makes sense for them to see what he can do at this point.
Well, yeah, they took him. They should probably see.
Also, I'm sorry, Justin Herbert is in year 6 of his career.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
That's actually, that is nuts.
That's unreal. Anyway, so speaking of people who got hurt, Carson Wentz has season-ending surgery. We talked about this a little.
Real convenient. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah, convenient. Anyway, so fixing his dislocated left shoulder, torn labrum, fractured socket. Really convenient.
Well, I was making reference to the fact that the Vikings don't really want to start J.J. McCarthy, but
who do you think would outperform? The only other Vikings quarterback on the roster now that Wentz is hurt, he is going to get surgery, he's going to be gone, is Max Brosmer. who is had 1 year at the University of Minnesota, and then the previous few years was at New Hampshire.
I don't think he's real.
I mean, he seems like a cat.
That man is not real.
I'm like on the plane. That man's not real.
Max Brosmer. Vikings have to trade for a quarterback, even to just back up JJ McCarthy. Like, you can't have JJ McCarthy is going to play with this high ankle sprain that needed 2 months to heal. If he hurts his ankle again, they're going to have Max Brosmer. Like, they need to trade for the trade deadline's next week. Minnesota actually has to go get a backup, and the backup will probably just compete for the job with McCarthy naturally. They're kind of fucked.
You know what it's time for? It's time for Kevin O'Connell to fix Jameis Winston.
Oh, God.
That's what needs to happen.
I vote for Anthony Richardson.
That is way better than all the fake trades I had thought of.
Jameis is going to be good under Kevin O'Connell. You watch. And Justin Jefferson's going to finish as the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy.
Well, I could see that.
That's not
very far-fetched.
I actually had never once in my entire life actually considered, like, what if Jameis Winston stopped making bad decisions on the football field? How good he could be.
There's no limit.
And that won't happen, but even thinking about it is really funny.
The limit does not exist. The ceiling is the roof, if that happens.
Honestly, I keep wondering if Kirk's going to end up there, and the Kirk Cousins played so poorly last week. I don't think they could even do it. So the Vikings have to trade for quarterback. Were they just going to have McCarthy injured with nobody behind him?
When you said the Max Brosmer thing, that he's not real, it occurred to me it'd be funny if teams did this as a bit, because beat reporters and sports writers in general don't like to admit when they've never heard of a player. And everybody wants to know everyone needs to know where this guy went to college. Like, it's the one sports writer thing is like, we all know where someone went to college. It would be funny if a team just randomly started putting in like fake players and see how long it takes beat reporters to be like, wait, this guy's not actually real. I've never heard of this.
Yeah, you ask the beat reporter, like, so what did you think of Elliot Richmond in college? And they're like scrambling. I liked him. I actually thought he was underrated. It's like, well, he's not real. So.
Yeah, I remember watching it. I remember seeing him when they were playing Duke. Yeah, he definitely stood out.
You remember his big game against Louisville, right? Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I do. Sure.
Me and someone I will not name were joking that we've always wanted to make up a player at the combine each year and just be like, yeah, the kid from like made up, like real school made up player center, and just be like, wow, yeah, coach's son, and just see if we could create buzz around a player. That
water cooler buzz. Yeah.
And see, Ty Whittingham out of Western Michigan is nice.
We always wanted to start it on the first day and see if by the end of the trip someone else told it to us.
Oh my God, that's actually
like
really
that
good.
Would be the dream.
That's good, Heifetz.
We should bring somebody from the Ringer with us to the combine and pretend like they're a player and like follow behind them and have them meet people.
Pretend they're a GM, like James Gladstone.
I'll never get over that. Anyway, I do it. Remind me about emails. Remind me about an email relevant to this conversation at the end of the episode. Also, Lamar Jackson's probably going to play Thursday Night Football. Playing the Dolphins, Ravens, obviously, if they win that game, claw back to 3-5, and then they could face JJ McCarthy or Max Brosmer at the Vikings, and then Dylan Gabriel at the Browns, and Fields at the Jets, or Tyrod Taylor. Ravens do have a serious path back to 6-5, but they need it. But if Lamar can beat Miami on Thursday, that'd be big. And then also, Broncos cornerback Patrick Surtain is out for weeks, and we just made a face, DK.
You said it right.
Yeah, you bullied me into it. Why is the I there? And if it's not Surtain, why the fuck is the I there? I know it's Patrick Surtain, but it always trips me up.
Yeah, but you don't say I am certain that we are going to the movies later today. You say certain.
Checkmate.
Damn. That's true. But you say stain.
I like it. And complain.
Always, I don't know. You're always so indignant about spelling things.
Well, the English language is
English is difficult. English is super hard.
There's no rhyme or reason to half the way you say things in English.
Certain. It's like you know what? Let's move on. We're gonna power rank. Good point though. We're gonna power rank the midseason awards, and we're gonna just go through, and we're gonna give out awards to fantasy players at the first, not like people listening, the players in the field, the real players that are on our fantasy teams.
Yeah, we're deep into the season now enough to like know the narratives that are going to stick. Like this is now when you're talking to people about the fantasy season, you can already kind of recap what was a disaster and what wasn't with some kind of clarity. Where it's like, look, Jonathan Taylor is good. This is not a fluke. Things like that.
And it's a fun time capsule in case anything changes or there's injuries and stuff. So it's worth memorializing. So going to go through this Power Hour style. Every 2 minutes, you can hear this sound.
It's a great song.
Perfect.
Love that song.
Incredible song. Okay, so we're just going to go through these awards 1 to 10. Kind of lying about, I don't really know if this is a power ranking. It's kind of just the awards in an order that I thought would work. So I don't know if that's a ranking.
But we all submitted our picks and then we kind of distributed it based on how passionate we were about who should win each award.
I've taken your picks and I doled out the ones that were obvious and have like a third of them we still have to figure out during the conversation. Those will take longer.
That's half the fun. Yeah.
So with that said, number one, this one's super easy. Fantasy MVP, which honestly, don't get lost in the V of the VP of valuable. It's like, who's having the best season? I know.
Don't get lost in the V.
I was wondering that. I know.
You know what? You can't. I'm giving you permission to get lost in the V.
I had this thought though for
I'm going to
MVP.
sit this one out.
Don't get lost in the V. It's true.
Yeah, the valuable part, right?
Everyone gets MVP, and it's all this like, well, what's value? And it's like, who had the best year? Everyone's, you know.
Unfortunately, this is a player that Heifetz took in the Ringer Fantasy League. I feel like that's kind of a theme here. Heifetz always takes the right players, which is still very weird to me. Heifetz is
especially because I recommend
weirdly good at this game that we play.
Why is it weirdly good? Isn't that his job?
No, I'm just giving him shit. Of course, he's very good at this. I just want to give him his flowers, but I can't do it in a very nice way. I have to do it in sort of a sarcastic way.
Have to backhand it.
Yeah, it's probably because I recommend players that do poorly and other people take them, and then the players who are good I end up with. So, you know, it's kind of
just like every fantasy league I'm in with Heifetz, he's just a fucking wagon.
Yeah. Anyway, the MVP is Colts
Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor for the Colts, who was the running back 9 in average draft position. I think a lot of people were very afraid that the Anthony Richardson offense would suck and that Jonathan Taylor would not catch any passes. The Colts offense does not suck. In fact, it is through 8 weeks. I saw this, the 4th best offense of all time, according to DVOA.
God.
And it's like the teams ahead of them are the ones you'd think. It's the 07 Patriots, the 2013 Broncos. So yeah, this is a very, very good offense. And Jonathan Taylor is the engine that runs that offense. He's the RB1 by a mile. He's averaging almost 26 points per game. Next closest is Christian McCaffrey, who also is on Heifetz's team at 21 points a game. He has 14 touchdowns, 4 games with 3+ touchdowns this year.
A running back hasn't had 20 rushing touchdowns in the NFL in 20 years. And Jonathan Taylor is 14 halfway through the season.
It's wild.
Or sorry, he has 12 for rushing. We've talked, well, there you go. Everyone gets it at this point. That's good timing. It's fine. We've talked about John Taylor.
I do think a lot of people, and this is not discrediting Heifetz, but like Heifetz took Chase Brown an entire round before Jonathan Taylor. I think a lot of people reluctantly just landed on Jonathan Taylor. I think it was like, he's there and there's like no one else I really like. I guess I'll take him. Nobody was like reaching for him in drafts.
I was between Chase Brown and Jonathan Taylor. And then he fucking came back to me a round later, and I couldn't believe it. And I just was like, okay, sure. And honestly, that's how you usually win your leagues.
Yeah.
We're going to do a whole episode about him next year, probably. Just he's the poster boy for what we always say, boring players.
100%.
Who are talented for whatever reason. Boring, talented players.
I'm looking at our draft. Van took Alvin Kamara before Jonathan Taylor. Like, people just were not into him. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It just fades into the background. So... yeah, John Taylor, we've talked about him a lot, so we can...
It's nice he's getting the recognition because the talent was always there, but I feel like he never had that reputation, and now this year, rightfully so, is putting him in that conversation.
Currently the 4th best, just running backs who've had 200 fantasy points halfway through the season in the last 20 years is just like McCaffrey 2019, Todd Gurley 2018, LaDainian Thomas in 2006, which is the best fantasy season ever, and then John Taylor this year. So that's pretty good.
I think, this is a good reminder to like enjoy this and revel in it.
And then, you know what? Fuck it. Whatever. I know I've tried to move on twice, but 3rd time's the charm. The guys with 4 hat tricks in one season in the 21st century are just Marshall Faulk breaking the touchdown record in 2000, Priest Holmes breaking the touchdown record in 2002, Priest Holmes re-breaking the touchdown record in 2003, Sean Alexander breaking the touchdown record in 2005, LaDainian Tomlinson breaking the record in 2006. So it's like literally just only historic seasons are what John Taylor has been doing.
And he did it in 8 games.
He did it in 8 games, not a full season. So it really is unbelievable. Okay. Yeah. 3rd time's the charm here. Moving on. Sleeper of the year. Complimentary. The best sleeper of the year. This one, I think, DK, I feel like it has to be Drake May, the Patriots quarterback.
Yeah. So I think we always come into the seasons looking for the elusive dual threat guys. And for whatever reason, I don't think we talked ourselves into Drake May as much as we should have, but he was definitely sort of one of those guys in that group where I could see him throwing a bunch of touchdowns and also rushing a little bit because he scrambled so much. And so we talked about him a lot in the offseason. And people that took that risk and made that gamble, it's definitely paying off. He was drafted as a QB 16, and through 8 weeks, he is the QB 4 in points per game, behind only Mahomes, Allen, and Hurts. He has 15 pass touchdowns, only 3 picks. He's rushing for a bunch of yards. He's third in rushing yards at quarterback position. And I mean, maybe among all players, the guy that's made the biggest jump in the NFL.
We have a category coming up later called the hype guy who actually delivered. And I think the reason why, DK, you're like, oh, I don't know if he was necessarily discussed as much as he should have been, blah, blah, is I think people were kind of, it was so obvious that Drake May, like every fantasy analyst was like, Drake May is the best pick you can make outside of the top 10 quarterbacks, bar none.
Yeah.
And it was almost like if there was almost so much conversation around it, like Trevor Lawrence being the number 1 overall pick or can't, like we just didn't talk about it. And then it ended up working out. So I feel like it was something that every fantasy analyst like kind of agreed on. And I almost think that scared us. We were like, this is so obvious.
You talked about him as being the 9th. We had him ranked as the 9th quarterback.
We totally did.
Offseason.
Yeah, we definitely did. But it's almost hard. It's like you can only gush over somebody so much in the offseason. We almost just like stopped and moved on. But yeah,
half the problem is we work for Bill and we don't want to just be like talking about the goddamn Patriots quarterback the entire offseason. But we had him ranked as the top 10 quarterback the entire time. And I think what's cool is he was the most hyped quarterback of the entire year for fantasy. And he's outperforming it. And honestly, hype in general won this year because between Emeka Egbuka for the Bucks, Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
The hype players outperformed. If you reached for the hype guys, they still were rewarding you.
And like he's the sleeper of the year in fantasy, and also that's translated in real life. Like he's probably even better at real life football than he is at fantasy.
Seriously, yeah.
It's not just like a Justin Fields situation where it's like, oh, he's going to run enough to get you 20 points a game. He is actually as good in real life as he is in fantasy, if not better.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. So the next category here is sleeper of the year, but it's derogatory. It's all the other sleepers. You took over the cool sleepers and you regret it. So, Craig, I think Chief Anger corresponded here. Who's the sleeper of the year derogatory?
There's a lot of candidates here. Where my head actually went was Caleb Johnson, the 3rd round pick, running back to the Steelers. I almost think we forget about how big of a bust he was because of how immediately irrelevant he became. I mean, he was probably dropped in fantasy leagues after like 2 weeks. He was taken 75th overall in fantasy drafts. He was the RB 28.
75th. Wow.
Yes. He was the RB 28. I mean, most people thought it's like, we already forget this because Kenneth Gainwell's been kind of a thing and Johnson has disappeared. But like, it was like, oh, the Arthur Smith run game. It's going to be Warren and Caleb Johnson. Najee Harris is gone. People were comparing Caleb Johnson's running style to like Derrick Henry light. Derrick Henry with Arthur Smith worked. This is going to be like Deion Lewis and Derrick Henry on the Titans. And he was just immediately irrelevant. He basically lost the Steelers that game to the Seahawks where he screwed the kickoff.
Oh, yeah.
Screwed up the kickoff. And he basically hasn't played since. He gets like a carry a game.
It's one of my bigger regrets of the year is not pounding the table for Jalen Warren just because Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator, is a hard guy to play for, and so is Aaron Rodgers as a rookie. And just the two of them, it wasn't going to work.
Caleb, in retrospect, it seems so obvious, doesn't it?
I'm furious at myself. There are some other nominees here for sleepers that we're going to go over here, but there's so many people that we have to air grievances with.
Right.
RJ Harvey for the Broncos just had a great game versus the Dallas. He had 3 touchdowns. How many times have we talked about how mad we are at Travion Henderson on the Patriots? Like every week for a month?
Yeah.
RJ Harvey until last week had like 6 more points than Travion Henderson. And RJ Harvey went just as high, basically, depending
also,
on the
didn't
draft.
he had 3 touchdowns on like 8 touches?
Yeah.
Or 7 touches or
so
something
it's just,
like that.
Harvey is like been infuriating. Matthew Golden, the receiver for the Packers. I will take the L if you have Golden. It's probably because I talked about him.
This is the whole thing with rookies, though. It's hard. Like these rookies take a while.
Well, it's all offseason. We were like, if you can get a
calculated gambles with rookies.
Yeah, we were like, you can get a Emeka Egbuka, that's the best case. If you compare him with Ricky Parasol, that's plan B. And then Parasol got hurt. Plan C is, man, Matthew Golden. What a great sleeper. And what's mad about Matthew Golden, he's the 65th best receiver in the season. No touchdowns. 3 different games under 20 yards. And then last week, if you've had Golden this whole time, you're like, I need you this week. Bye apocalypse. 6 teams are on bye. If you play, you might have had to play Matthew Golden this last week. Gets 4 yards.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn it, Matthew Golden.
I do think it's still Caleb Johnson, though, is the winner because these got Matthew Golden, RJ Harvey, they are still on rosters. People are holding on to Caleb Johnson is
he's an afterthought. He's on waivers.
He's bottom of the barrel in the waiver. Yeah. Caleb Johnson has 13 touches this entire season.
We haven't brought him up one time on the waiver wire
No,
show.
he doesn't play. He doesn't play. There's one other person I want to make the case for just because we haven't talked about this person. We talked about on waivers. We talked about adding Colston Loveland, the tight end for the Bears.
Yeah.
And we didn't even mention, I actually think you could argue that Colston Loveland's the most painful of all these picks because the thesis was like, oh man, you can get the next Brock Bowers. And you were probably between two rookie tight ends, Colson Loveland and Tyler Warren. And you might have taken Loveland over Warren.
Oh, I bet you. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson, this Colts team, we have no idea. Or Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams in the new improved Bears offense. They took him 10th overall.
Ben Johnson made Laporta the number one tight end when he was in Detroit.
How many people were probably like, I don't want to take a top tight end this year, so I'm not going to take Brock Bowers, you're not going to take even Njoku, Hawkinson, Evan Ingram, a washed class of guys. You're like, I'm going to take a late round tight end. And you threw a dart and you hit the only one that was bad because Jake Ferguson and Dallas Goedert and Tucker Kraft and Tyler Warren. And so I would argue Loveland is like in that group, the only miss of tight end at that. If that's kind of hard. You probably also cut him after 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But that one's
a good one.
The other one that I want to shout out real quick is Braylon Allen. I feel like we heard about Braylon Allen for a solid month and about how he was going to put Breece Hall in the cuck chair as he scores all the touchdowns for the Jets. That's really how it felt. Like I don't think any player had a worse August than Breece Hall. If we looked at the actual ADP, I bet he fell further than almost any other player that didn't get hurt. Because there was so much hype around Braylon Allen. They were using Braylon Allen pretty interchangeably in the preseason. Braylon Allen was a great sleeper pick. I picked him in a couple of leagues just because I was like, kind of buying into all that hype. And then Braylon Allen he just never did anything. He had 0 useful weeks. He had the most he scored in a game is 6.9 points. His max rushing yards in a game was 30, and then he got hurt. So that was like the biggest much ado of nothing I can remember. In August, all we heard about was Braylon Allen, and then he just literally did nothing.
All right, well, we'll keep rolling here. But the Ringer Fantasy Football Show is brought to you by FanDuel. Thursday Night Football continues to deliver, and FanDuel's keeping the energy up with their $2 million Thursday Night Football jackpot. Place an anytime touchdown score bet using your profit boost, and if your player scores the first or last touchdown of the game, you'll earn a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Head to FanDuel.com/RingerFantasy to download the app and get started. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Must be 21 plus and present in select states or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in, must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last TD pick. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. All right. Next category here. This one's called the non-Jonathan Taylor most valuable player of the year. Because frankly, I don't know. It was so easy to like who's having the best season, John Taylor. I went through the awards that we didn't have an award for Jackson Smith-Njigba, the receiver of the Seahawks. So I made one. And this is just an award to acknowledge that Jackson Smith-Njigba exists. Yeah. Because, well, you know what I mean? Like he got overshadowed at Ohio State.
I know.
And then by DK Metcalf at Seattle. And even this year, it's like John Taylor. No one, Njigba leads the league in yards by like 100 yards. Everywhere he's gone, he's been overshadowed. Right, Craig?
Yeah, it's almost like this is like the Lifetime Achievement Award, even though this is like his 3rd season. But sometimes you just have to give an honorary Oscar to somebody, and we're giving it to JSN, who's just like, is it fair to say this is kind of out of nowhere that he's just a top 5 receiver in the NFL?
I think so. I think that's fair. I would say he was a good number 2. That's kind of his reputation. Now he might be one of the best number 1s in the NFL. He and Drake May to me are the 2 guys that have, overshot what we expected by the most in terms of the 2 players in the NFL.
So the interesting thing with Njigba is if you look into it, so the counting stats, like he has the most yards by 100, even though he already had a bye. He's the crux of the offense. Like his 4.4 yards per route run, which for context is as good as it possibly gets. Like 4.4 yards per route run is like what Tyreek Hill was doing in 2023 when he was going to get 2,000 yards. Like there is no level higher that we have ever seen beyond 4.4 yards per route run, whether 07 Randy Moss or anything. No one's been higher than that. But he's doing that even though his ADOT is his like average depth of target is 13 yards downfield. This isn't like his first year with the Shane Are We Live Waldron where Njigba was getting the ball at the line of scrimmage. Like he's going downfield. He's up there with like Troy Franklin's average depth of target, Tyreek Hill's average depth of target. Like he's down, like he's winning at all 3 levels. He's winning on slants to the inside. He's winning on along the sideline. He's winning deep. He's winning on crossers. He's doing it also from the outside because that's the other thing is that Njigba is only in the slot 20% of the time. Mm-hmm. That's the same amount as like Nico Collins, or Ted McMillan or like DK Metcalf, like these giant classic X receivers, they're not just spamming him in the slot. Like Jigba's just winning on the outside over and over and over and over again. It's unbelievable.
He's doing the things that people thought he couldn't do when he came into the NFL, which is win deep and win from the outside. And he is like an untraditional number one receiver, but he absolutely is a number one receiver. In fact, like his win rate on the outside is one of the best in the NFL.
He also has a 38% target share, which leads all receivers in the NFL.
Yeah. I need to do a tattoo for the draft. I remember watching the Rose Bowl when he had the 300 yards or whatever and being like, this guy will
This
play.
guy's good.
This guy will be amazing.
We should have a rule. If you have 300 yards in a college game, you're good.
Yeah, except for Zay Jones. Otherwise, okay.
He's still in the league.
I think he has the record for most catches in a game in college.
He's having a good career. Ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a good day, though.
So, next category here I have, which is the biggest bust. And frankly, this is the category of players you drafted instead of taking Jackson Smith-Njigba. Like, who's the most disappointing player that you took when you could have had Jackson Smith-Njigba? I think the nominees are Brian Thomas on the Jaguars, Ladd McConkey on the Chargers, frankly, Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers on the Raiders, and then just A.J. Brown. And so, DK, of those nominees, who do you think is the most disappointing person you took over Jackson Smith-Njigba?
I think Brian Thomas. He to me would be the type of player that if you're in last place, he's the guy you can blame, because he was legitimately a borderline first round player. I think some people, you had to reach a little bit to take him in the first round, but he's like second round turn. And right now he is the wide receiver 42 on the season. He's averaging 9 points per game. He has one game over 20 points and just 3 games with double digit points. And in addition to all that, I mean, the vibes are horrific. He's not in sync with Trevor Lawrence. It seems like they're getting in arguments or, shooting glances in every game. The coaching situation is kind of weird there. They're trying to put in a new offense and everything. He has the yips. He has like a bunch of drops this season. And if you just go back the last 4 games, it feels like he's kind of losing his role as the number one receiver, because he only has 4 more points total than Travis Hunter in the last month. Yeah. And so with a lot of these guys, I'm like, oh, it might get better down the stretch of the season, but I don't really know if I feel that way about Brian Thomas. Like, it might get worse.
I think the answer is Brian Thomas. There are other nominees. They're like Marvin Harrison Jr. is also scoring the same amount of points as Brian Thomas. I think DJ Moore has been really disappointing for a receiver. You could have theoretically taken over JSN, but it has to be Brian Thomas. Like DK said, he was going like 11th in drafts. Like, this guy was supposed to be a superstar.
I still maintain that if I was like one of these guys in the Jaguars plays cornerback too and doesn't practice that much with the offense, you'd be like, oh yeah, it's Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
The guy I think Travis Hunter get hit.
Travis Hunter's starting to look good at wide receiver. And he doesn't even practice wide receiver, and looks pretty good.
Liam Cohen was like, we're not trading Brian Thomas, which I hate that had to get clarified.
I mean, that's when things are going well.
Yeah. Number 6 awards. The Waiver Wire MVP of the year, just the best player you added off waivers this year. I feel like there's frankly like 2 candidates, maybe 3. And I think it's Daniel Jones, the quarterback for the Colts. It's Keenan Allen, the receiver for the Chargers. And it's Rico Dowdle, running back for the Panthers. I feel like it has to be Daniel Jones in part because like my brother added him off in the oldest league I'm in. And everyone like mocked him relentlessly, even after Daniel Jones was good in week 1. Everyone made so much fun of him. And then now he just keeps sending these Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones memes to the chat every week. Like, no one made fun of you when you added Keenan Allen. I think that pushes it over for me. What do you think, DK?
Yeah, I mean, a guy that basically went undrafted, scoring almost 21 points a game, is massively, massively valuable in fantasy. And yeah, I put Rico Dowdle because I kind of just forgot about Daniel Jones in a sense, but I think Daniel Jones is the clear-cut answer here. I think Rico Dowdle has certainly helped a lot of people, but Daniel Jones is the answer.
Yeah, Dowdle's had 2 good weeks. Daniel Jones is the QB5 on the season. He's one of 7 quarterbacks averaging 20 points a game. The guy is top 10 in MVP odds. He has the same MVP odds as Jalen Hurts and Baker Mayfield. Like, he is just... And again, he is the reason why nobody drafted Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
It's like this weird 1-2 punch where it's like, because nobody believed in Daniel Jones, nobody drafted any Colts players. And now all of them are fantastic because of Daniel Jones and other stuff. But I think it has to be Jones. I mean, he's the QB5.
Yeah.
I agree. Jones. I'm happy for him. Shout out Chase Stewart at Football Perspective, who pointed out that the Giants and Jets have 3 wins this season, and the top 2 quarterbacks in net yards per attempt this season are Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Oh,
so that's
brutal.
chill. Tom, save me. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And he's not spamming points like Daniel Jones. Like, it's all legit.
Similarly, the next award here, the embarrassing pick that you either auto drafted or made fun of taking, and then now that person is actually crushing it.
This is a fun one.
I feel like the nominees here are Michael Pittman, the receiver for the Colts, as we were just saying.
Another
Quentin
Daniel Jones
Johnson,
product.
receiver for the Chargers. Javonte Williams for the Cowboys. But honestly, it might have to be Jalen Waddle for the Dolphins. Because
I think so. Jalen Waddle, who I'm in 3 leagues. I do have Jalen Waddle in 1 league because he was going for $5 in an auction draft, and I couldn't help myself, even though I despise this man. I drafted
You went
him
against all your
I did.
better thoughts. Yeah.
I was like, this. We talked about this in August. We were like,
Yeah.
as painful as it is to admit, I think there's value with Jalen Waddle. He's the wide receiver 12 on the season in points per game. But more importantly, since Tyreek Hill went down, and if you remove that Cleveland terrible weather game, that was a disaster, he's the wide receiver 5.
Woo.
He's averaging 17 points per game. And like, there are moments where the Miami Dolphins offense like finds its rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it takes a little while. It's like, it takes a while to start the car, but the car does start. And they are using Waddle in that old school Dolphins, Mike McDaniel way, where he's like coming across the middle, these crossing routes, these slants, these in-breaking routes. And Waddle's good. Like, he's good when everything's working and it's working.
Yeah, I think that's a great call because that was not a pick you could feel very great about making. It was kind of like truly just, okay, I think the value's here. What I going to take him because
everybody went, good luck with that guy.
Test your principles.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think there were a lot of nominees, but what Waddle did to the 3 of us specifically last year, I also think like makes him even more, likely to win this award. But yeah.
I think Michael Pittman to me was a guy that was so late that you're kind of like that. It wasn't that embarrassing.
Yes.
Quentin Johnson was also probably waiver ad, but
yes.
Javonte Williams is like a classic he got auto drafted by people.
Good one. He wasn't really an embarrassing pick. It was because, again, it was pretty late. Waddle was like you took him in the 4th round.
Right. The Pittman one is interesting because, again, it goes back to everything we were talking about with Daniel Jones and the expectations for the Colts. But Heifetz, you picked Michael Pittman in the last round of the fantasy draft, isn't that right?
Yeah, you got Pittman and
now
Jayden
he's a
Reed,
top
I think,
12.
with the last
He's
2
a top
picks.
12 receiver on the year.
Yeah, he literally just didn't get drafted. I also added Javonte Williams off waivers.
Jesus Christ. The Quentin Johnson one I just want to real quick mention is I remember at the beginning of the year, if you would have taken him in the last round or like auto drafted on accident, even just picked him up off waivers, I think I probably would have been like, that's a waste at the beginning of the year. And now, I mean, he's the wide receiver 19 and he's fading. He had 0 points in this last game and McConkey is certainly coming on, but like he's been very, very useful for you for the first 8 weeks of the season.
There's also like this guy has not been that good, but there is, in terms of getting made fun of for making this pick, Kyle Pitts has been serviceable this year.
Totally.
What I remember offering DK money out of my wallet to put Pitts on our list of sleepers. And he was like, no.
You're like $20, $40. Kyle Pitts is the tight end 11. Like he's been all right.
It's fine. Speaking of which, though, we do have to do the next category here. We have tight end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually just went with tight end of the year because honestly, there was a lot of tight ends that are good and I wanted to give them all their shine. Tucker Kraft on the Packers, Tyler Warren on the Colts, Jake Ferguson on the Cowboys, and even Dallas Goedert on the Eagles. I think if you went back through the last 4 weeks and you had asked us who's the tight end of the year, we would have had one of these 4 guys as a different answer each of the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So DK, who's the definitive tight end of the year and not someone that we'll just change our mind on again next
This
week?
is definitely not recency bias. It's Tucker Kraft for the Packers, who absolutely went bonkers last week. He is the tight end 1 on the season by a good amount right now, 14 points per game and half PPR. And I think that the fear with him coming into the season was the Packers offense. It's like every week it's something different. They make a focal point of based on matchups or whatever, but he has a solid 21% target rate, which is 4th most among tight ends. It's not a fluke. He's talented enough that they're making him a central part of their passing game, and it's really working for them. So I don't think this is a fluke at all. There's going to be ups and downs with every tight end probably, but I mean, Tucker Kraft, he looks like a top 3 real life tight end, and he's the tight end 1 in fantasy.
Yeah, it's tough. Warren, it's like, you could give it to Warren just because of the rookie tight end thing. It's just like hard for these guys to, I mean, the second the season started, you watched one game of Tyler Warren and you were like, yep, top 5 guy. And I think that's the case for him. Kraft, though, I feel like is like the spreadsheets were right. There were all of the fantasy analysts in the offseason were like, oh, the yards per route run stuff, the yards after the catch stuff with the Tucker Kraft, like even if the volume wasn't there, what we saw from him, if you extrapolate it, like he has all the characteristics of being a guy, like the next George Kittle type. And he kind of has had a weird season because he has basically just 2 huge spike weeks. And then outside of that, he's been a little bit hot and cold. Mm-hmm. But the spike weeks are so big and what he can do in the offense is so explosive that he'll like win you weeks. Tyler Warren has been a little bit like 15 points every single game.
Yeah, absolutely. The other guy to mention here is Dallas Goedert, who you could have taken on waivers probably.
And DK, the other guy, your favorite, Jake Ferguson.
Oh yeah, Ferg. He had 0 points this last week, so that kind of hurts his.
But the tight end too after a goose egg.
I know.
Impressive.
That's why I didn't want to cut out.
He was on pace to set the record for most receptions from a tight end. So
I know he had a goose egg, but I didn't want to cut him out of this because he had one bad week. Jake Ferguson, even with that said, if you're in a full PPR league, Jake Ferguson is by far the number 1 tight end. In fact, Ferguson, because again, people know how I feel. I think catch is getting a full point is insane. The concept that 1 catch is equal to first down is stupid. However, if that's how you score points, Jake Ferguson has 60% more catches than Tucker Kraft or Dallas Goedert. Jake Ferguson has 51 catches. There is only one other tight end that has 40, and Jake Ferguson is over 50. The gap between him and everyone else is massive, and that's after not catching a pass last week. So
it is funny. He's like the opposite of Tucker Kraft. He has 18 more. Oh no, I guess he has 21 more catches than Tucker Kraft, and yet he has 130 less yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in
he's
PPR,
he's more of a catch and fall down type of guy. Yeah.
PPR tight end of the year is Jake Ferguson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, so who's winning? Is it Warren or is it Kraft?
Heifetz, you get to be the judge here.
I think it is Tyler Warren because you have been able to be part of this Colts ride, which is extra cool. Tucker Kraft had 2 massive spike weeks, but actually kind of lulled in the middle. And you probably were like, there was a early bye and an injury. And like there was you were probably wondering if Tucker Kraft was a flash in the pan. Warren has been just consistently fun and it's cooler to be a part of the Colts thing. So I will give the tiebreaker to Tyler Warren.
I agree.
Sweet.
Hype guy, next one here. Hype guy who actually delivered. And I know we just sleeper of the year, it's similar. Drake May, Emeka Buka, Tyler Warren. Are they even eligible for this? I think we almost have to put them. Are we putting it to the side or what are we doing here?
I mean, my answer was Drake May because I just think like everybody was saying it's going to be Drake May, and it just absolutely was.
Yeah, they just kind of delivered.
Like you couldn't find somebody who wasn't into Drake May in fantasy this offseason, and it's worked. Usually that doesn't happen.
DK,
who
do you have in the hype guy
I think
that delivered?
Heifetz, you wrote Ibuka, and I think that's a very fair one because everybody. It was like everywhere you looked, it was your favorite fantasy analyst's favorite guy in the draft, basically, because everyone kind of fixated on him. Chris Godwin coming off this big injury, so I think he definitely fits this bill. The one guy who I pointed out, and this is more of just a personal thing because I talked about him incessantly. I got to the point where it's like, I probably should just shut up about this guy because he is probably pretty volatile coming into the season. But George Pickens for the Cowboys, who he was one of my favorite picks. I have him on like 7 teams. I just kept picking him. He felt like a really great value going from a terrible passing offense in Pittsburgh to one of the best passing offenses in the NFL in Dallas. Obviously, it helps his case that CeeDee Lamb got hurt. So there was like a little bit of luck with the run out in terms of like the points he was scoring per game. But I think I haven't really heard anything about off-field stuff with him. That was like always the big question. What is he going to do if he starts not getting enough targets? He's just been balling out basically from start to finish. He's the wide receiver 6 on the season so far. 685 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's tied for second in the NFL in touchdowns. Seems like he's loving life in Dallas right now.
Yeah. He's happy right now. He's getting fed.
Yeah.
We always knew he had the talent.
Right. It was always a big question, but I don't know. I was always a little bit like, I don't what to make of this narrative that Mike Tomlin trading away a receiver automatically means death of that receiver in the pros. I was just, I think I pushed back on that because I had way too many George Pickens bags probably, but yeah, it's good to see him thriving right now.
Well, Tomlin thing was the history of every receiver who's ever left Pittsburgh, except for
not every, but
Emmanuel Sanders, who went to the best offense in the history of the NFL, was the exception.
Yeah, he sucked.
Well yeah, obviously he did well. No, the answer was the Pickens was like a head case, but no, that's still good call.
Well, I'm just saying he's the wide receiver 6. Hopefully
he also
he keeps it together.
maybe the volatility is maybe he got CeeDee Lamb hurt. Maybe it wasn't luck. Maybe make your own luck.
Like a Nancy Kerrigan situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, geez. Also, this doesn't rule out the fact that Pickens, if the Cowboys sneak into the playoffs, will have some ridiculous unsportsmanlike conduct penalty in a crucial moment in the fourth quarter, and everybody will be like, "Yep, that's George Pickens."
Last one here. I'm taking my lap right now, Craig.
For sure.
That's why we do the show. The last one here is the guy you will never ever draft again because of what he's done the last 8 weeks. Even if you know it's a good idea, you emotionally aren't ready for the journey.
I nominated AJ Brown, who
I second the motion.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to ever do it again. I won't do it again. It's always going to be bullshit with him. I feel like it just. He also feels like he's always going to have a hamstring injury when it's convenient for him, and I can't read the Diana Rossini articles every week anymore. I just can't. It's cool when he plays well, but it feels like he's like dogging routes when he knows he's not going to be targeted. I'm good. I'm out.
The juice is not worth the squeeze.
No, it's not.
I'm shocked you didn't say Travion Henderson for this one, Craig.
My expectations with AJ Brown were like, I got one of the best wide receivers in the league on one of the best offenses in the league. And he is one of the safest players you can draft and will deliver every week. And it's been the exact opposite. At least with Travion, it's like, I don't know. This guy's a 2nd round pick and he's a backup to start the season. Like AJ Brown, when I drafted AJ Brown in my high school league, everybody went, great pick. Damn, I really wanted AJ Brown. Wow. $32, pretty good for AJ Brown. And it's a disaster. I'm never going to spend that money on him again.
It's a highly unenjoyable experience.
Horrible experience. I'm having a terrible time with him, and I can't do anything about it. I just have to start him every week. He's handcuffed me.
Even when he scores a lot of points, it doesn't give you confidence that it'll ever happen again.
It even feels like with the touchdowns he scores, for some reason, they don't even really look like he's trying, which maybe shows that he's that good and athletic. Right. But there are his 50-yard touchdowns are kind of like jogging and he's still begrudgingly scoring.
It feels like they're humoring him too when he scores.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole thing is awkward and weird. I don't know. He's going to be 29 next year. I'm not doing it again.
I think that's
Heifetz, did you have anyone else?
Honestly, just Travion, but realistically, Travion, I'm never going to draft him again.
If Travion has an awesome month of December, I'll probably be in on it next year.
You'll be back on it next year. It's like he was a rookie. AJ Brown's probably ready.
If AJ Brown has an awesome month of December, I won't care. Because he should. That's who he is.
All right, those are midseason awards. We're going to get to Ringer Fantasy League update, Fantasy Court emails. But first, this episode is brought to you by American Eagle. I've got some hot picks for you guys. You heard it here first. American Eagle just launched the second drop of their exclusive limited edition collab with True Colors by Travis Kelce. And we're pretty excited to see what new styles are out now, from incredibly comfy graphic tees to cool jackets to vintage-inspired rugby sweatshirts. We just know you're going to find something fresh for your wardrobe. Not only that, but American Eagle also so many new arrivals that just dropped, from trending jean fits to cozy flannels to luxuriously soft sweaters and more. You can check it all out at ae.com or just head to the store. All right, Ringer Fantasy League update. DK and I are tied.
Look at you two boys.
Look at us.
Both 6-2.
We're 6-2. We're at first, and I play Craig this week, so that'll be a big game.
I'm hanging on here at 4-4. I'm in 6th place. My team's kind of been hit by the injury bus. Lamar Jackson and Brock Purdy have not been kind to me this season.
That's brutal.
Bangkok Craig.
Bangkok Craig.
Bangkok Craig is hanging on by a thread.
Bangkok Craig is just, it's not doing great.
Bill, unfortunately, is still in last. He's 2-6.
Tied for last.
I hung on to beat Bill this last week. It was not a great week for me. I only scored, I think, 116 points, but Marcus Mariota put me over the finish line there. Thank you,
It's
Marcus.
looking like the U2 and Sal have the 3 best teams. And I think it's going to be one of you 3 in the end.
So we have the 3 best teams. So what? So fantasy's going to win?
What?
Well, just that's how fantasy works.
Yeah, fantasy might win it. Fantasy, it would be funny because we made fantasy choose all the Jets players.
I was saying both. It's like the 3 best teams. It's like, all right, someone else will win.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
but I do feel I'm, just whoever ends up being healthy. I like my team a lot. We'll see if I can get injuries. That's kind of just how it always goes.
Yeah.
I
feel like I'm like Brock Purdy, even if he plays, it's like this guy's never going to be healthy. Like all season, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with Brock Purdy.
And you're playing House this week. House is 4-4. You 2 have the last 2 playoff spots. So whoever wins that might fall out of the playoffs. So if you beat
I'm
House
playing you this week. I'm not playing House.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, wait, no, yeah, sorry. You're playing.
I'm playing House.
Yeah, sorry, DK. You're playing House.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're grinding. We are in the doldrums of the season right now. You got to fight.
Speaking of fighting, I have been waiting to talk about this for 3 days for Fantasy Court.
First of all, it feels very good to not be embroiled in the middle of this. That's all I can say.
Craig and I have not spoken about this. We are going to hash this out right now. So I'm going to give, basically what happened was.
Are you going to give as long of a speech now as you did in the text thread, or will it be a little bit?
Well, go ahead. Why don't you explain what happened then?
Okay. I honestly personally feel like this is like a very small, like glitch in Yahoo that is like a very common thing. And I think Heifetz just made it a lot bigger than it was for kind of no reason other than to kind of make fun of me in the chat, which is fine, I guess. But so I have Aaron Jones. He's been on IR for a long time. Aaron Jones played on Thursday. He was taken off IR late. So
it was an hour before the game.
We were all in person. I left right after we recorded to drive up to Paso Robles. So I was like not looking at my phone or my roster, whatever. Aaron Jones was like on my bench, obviously not playing anyway. I think most people probably weren't playing Aaron Jones. Same issue happened in a league that I am the commissioner of. Another guy had the same issue where if you have like somebody in your IR spot and then they play a game without you taking them out of your IR spot, it locks your roster. Like you cannot do anything. You cannot drop or add anybody. And so, of course, it was like Friday or something. I look at my roster and I'm like, oh, Drake London got ruled out late. And I was like, oh, I need to make a move here. Lamar Jackson's not playing. I need to make a move here. And I couldn't. Like the entire roster's locked. So I go to Heifetz and I'm like, hey, just like my buddy Hunter did to me in my other league, I was like, hey, I need you to move Aaron Jones from IR to my bench so that I can like make some changes because whatever. And then Heifetz sends like, I think like 7 or 8 paragraphs to the Ringer League. And in it says things like, I know everyone's going to be really upset about Craig about this. Also, after Craig tried to change the Ravens pick in Ringer 107, which is something that Heifetz co-signed.
We were just, okay.
I just thought it was like, I mean, it was funny because like I think Heifetz, even you would admit that you were like, you want to we want to kind of stoke some outrage.
I wanted to get ahead of it here. Okay, so the league that you're commissioner,
I thought it was very over the top.
I have been leagues that I'm the commissioner of where on certain platforms, if you have a commissioner change, it gets sent as a push notification to everybody. So I did the same thing you're talking about. Overall, we get emailed about this all the time. The locking of the rosters because you left someone on IR is insane. Like you shouldn't get like the idea that you left a running back in on Thursday, so you can't change your kicker. You can't you couldn't even cut the player in IR. You can't cut a different player to rectify that, so you don't get to move your kicker or your quarterback on Sunday or Monday because you made an IR guy play it on Thursday is a crazy rule. So we get emailed about this all the time, and we're always like the same answer, like you should unlock the roster.
I think we've probably done this on Fantasy Court.
We have, because it's a crazy problem. Having said that, that doesn't mean that when you're the commissioner, like I did this last year, and I had to do this for Jackie's team. And of course, it was Jackie's team. So I was like, oh, I'll just undo it. And of course, I get hit with days and days and days of collusion, commissioner, Shough, changing the matchup to help your like all I heard about for weeks was like that I fucking just changed this setting because it says there's a log. It says commissioner made an update or whatever and changed the roster. When do you edit a roster? Yahoo is the same thing where it's like on the Yahoo page underneath all the transactions, it says commissioner edited Craig's roster and it'll be there. this is the same day we asked Bill, like, we wanted take backsies on the Ravens line -6.5 because Lamar's playing. So basically, there will be a log of the same day we asked to change the Ringer 107. There's going to be like Heifetz edited Craig's roster for him. Sunday morning, it was going to be Heifetz changed Craig's roster. And then you've clearly never been in a fantasy league with Mallory Rubin, because I have personally been, also all these people are our bosses, and you have never clearly dealt with Mallory Rubin's wrath of like, Mallory once whipped the votes like House of Cards to veto a trade I made, and it was terrifying. And so I did not want the wrath of this league coming down on me when it was easily explained, because the flip side is we say nothing and then they're like, what the fuck is this? And then I explain it and they're like, that seems pretty shady. So I was like, let me get out of this.
I completely understand all that, actually. That's like very fair. However, you saying that this can be easily explained does not reflect the text that you sent to the group, which again was like 2,000 words.
Well, it's kind of complicated to explain.
It's not that like it happened. My other league, somebody's like, hey, Aaron Jones, IR, roster lock. Craig, can you move it around? I said, yep, no problem. Nobody said a fucking peep. And this is a league that's been going on for 15 years. To me, you made something that was not very shady at all seem incredibly shady.
I think it would have been
sending this extremely over-the-top explanation. And also,
sunlight is the best disinfectant. I'm sorry. Like literally just like, hey, here's what we're doing and why. And guess what?
I think that you very much led the witnesses to believe that I was doing something that was a much bigger deal than it actually was. This was the longest text I think I've ever seen you send in my life. And that's saying something for you.
It's complicated to explain. What the fuck is
it doesn't
happening?
even affect who I play. Like I wasn't even going to play Aaron Jones regardless, because you already, like, it didn't even change my roster. It was just like, it was nothing. And then I should say, so you in this text, this is what you wrote among the 900 paragraphs. Between this and the Ringer 107 Ravens request from yesterday, just a brutal weekend for Craig requesting take-backsies. Unfortunately,
it was 24 hours.
This
we
will
have
likely
two Ringer contests. You wanted take-backsies in the same day for both things. I'm like, that had to be addressed.
Yeah. However, what you did not acknowledge is that I asked you guys first if I should ask Bill about the Ravens take-backsies, and you said yes.
I was in the middle of something, and I didn't realize you were going to put it in the chat.
So you're just completely throwing me under the bus, and then starting this. So you're piling on a brutal weekend for Craig requesting take-backsies. You go on to say, unfortunately, though, this will likely happen again this season to somebody else.
It probably will. It happens.
Can you let me finish?
Sorry.
You're saying, unfortunately, though, this will likely happen again this season to somebody else. Parentheses, probably somebody who doesn't host a fantasy pod and should know better. It's like, Jesus, like, you're supposed to be the objective commissioner here. What are you doing?
I was ruling in your, I fixed your team, and the price of fixing your team, look, I, as commissioner, am now going to get the wrath of Bill and Mal and Van, and the price of that is I'm going to make fun of you and then give you what you asked for.
You were not going to get the wrath. You made this seem like such a bigger issue than it was. And if you are an objective commissioner, if this is a rule that you believe is correct, then you cannot throw me under the bus for not knowing the rule or not preparing for the rule and toss in the Ringer 107 thing. You have to pick a side. Either you think this is bullshit, or you think this is just a glitch and you're doing what you're supposed to do as commissioner, and you didn't do that at all. You made it sound like—
I picked your side. I changed your roster and you got the win.
You completely threw me under the bus. Like, you completely made it seem like I was doing something way shadier than I was. And DK, you can, I showed them, I was on an Airbnb trip with my friends.
Yeah.
I showed them this thing and they were like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, what? This is not a big deal. And he is completely making it seem like you're trying to pull a fast one on the league.
There was like a strong element. I don't know if Streisand effect is really the right term for this, but like Heifetz was like fanning the, like, it was like an SOS.
I guess I just
inarguably.
The alarm emoji things, like when he could have just said, hey, this is what's going on. I made this switch.
I guess.
Hey, Craig's roster got locked. There's a weird Yahoo glitch. I'm going to move Aaron Jones out of his bench, but it won't affect who he's playing this week. Thanks, guys.
We're all the commissioners of this league, of different leagues. Do you guys not get like totally harassed by everyone in your league?
I think so.
No.
Look, some of the fantasy courts we get, I feel like the ruling at the end is like, all right, this is supposed to be fun and not insane and ridiculous. And like, to me, this completely falls under the category of like, all right, what are we doing?
This is the part I forgot. I forgot on Yahoo, you don't get a push notification to everyone's phone that says the commissioner edited Craig's roster. On other platforms, it gets sent to everyone's phone immediately that like I edited your roster. So if I do that on those things and I don't say anything, then you're right. So, but then if I'm like, oh, edited the roster, I'm like, oh, there's a glitch. And then then everyone's going to pile on and be like, collusion, cheating. And I'm like, and I literally thought to myself, I'm going to hear about this on Bill's show. I was like, Bill's going to go on with Sal tonight and they're going to be like, Heifetz and Craig are cheating in the Ringer League. And I'm like, fuck. And you're right. Maybe I should have just left it. But I was like, oh my God, I'm going to hear about this all week.
I think you fomented a controversy that did not exist just to kind of get things going.
Guess what? My boring long text, Van said, this is cheating, and then no one responded. So there you go.
It was not a boring long text. The text was completely destroying me and calling me a clown, essentially. And then people were like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Like, he is a clown.
This commissioner is sending 10 paragraphs. This must be a big deal if he's sending 10 paragraphs about it.
Heifetz, you sound so nervous right now. Yeah. I land somewhere in the middle real quick. I land somewhere right in the middle because I understand from Heifetz's point of view that this is his bosses. And that's like a weird dynamic where
this is his bosses.
He has to be.
What are we talking about here? I mean,
these people all run our company.
I know, but
it's a weird dynamic, Craig. It's a weird power dynamic. Okay.
This league is for free. Like, what do we? There's no power dynamic here. This is like a stupid roster move week 8 of a fantasy league. Just because Bill Simmons is the CEO of the company, I'm like,
I think I was just scarred.
Craig, you didn't let me get to the butt part.
Okay.
But this was completely unhinged.
I think I see how it's unhinged. The context I want to give is that when to be clear, Craig, I totally get what you're saying. I totally understand what you're saying, and like it looks unhinged. The context I would give is I did that last year in this league. And I'm like, hey, and I just edited Jackie's roster. And I was like, yes, she's my fiance. And that looks like a conflict of interest, but I would do this for anybody. And I did do it for other people later in the season where I'm like, anyone who has this happen was stupid.
The IR thing you're talking about?
Yeah, the IR thing. It just happened to Jackie first. It's fine. And I just did it. And then I didn't say anything of it. And then people were like, what happened? I'm like, there's a glitch. I didn't fucking hear the end of this. I never heard the end of it. It was all. So then I'm like, this is going to happen again. I'm like, they're going to be like, DK, Heifetz is helping Craig. They're cheating. And I'm like, oh my God. And in fairness, it was probably anxiety brain. I was thinking about all the shit people yelled at me in my other league with my friends on the various Ringer network. And I'm like, oh my God, I actually have to fucking explain this, don't I? And so I did. And so you're right. It probably was unhinged, but I think it
was a little unhinged. And I think what you missed is sometimes more explanation does not necessarily mean it's like, less unhinged. Like more words don't always equal less outrage. Like sometimes you can explain something so much you're actually sounding more guilty.
Right.
And so
that was 100%.
And then you also the little like barbs sprinkling in like between this and Ringer 107. This is a brutal week for Craig. As somebody who should know better because he hosts a fantasy pod, it's like, all right, what are you actually trying to do?
I actually hurt your feelings. I can tell. I'm sorry.
Well, it was just hilarious because then everybody starts texting me. I don't know. It was just funny. I showed my one of my friends was like, is he always like this? And I was like, this is like a 2 out of 10.
You're like, yeah, definitely.
Like, this is like a 2 or a 3.
That was funny. I was watching this happen in real time because I saw the texts come into the Ringer Fantasy League thread.
Oh, you left me out to dry.
Way before Craig. What was I supposed to do?
I asked for your help.
Oh, that's another part of this story, Craig, that I didn't actually talk to you about. He says he needed my help. I got about 5 texts at 5:30 in the morning, my time, on Sunday.
9 a.m. Eastern, as they call it.
Yeah. I live on the West Coast,
I know.
Once again. I'm asleep.
Yeah, what
I
does
got
that
another
mean?
text.
You're not allowed. You don't have to acknowledge DK's time zone because
he
awake?
refuses to recognize our time zone.
What does that mean?
And then again, Craig, like an hour and a half later, are you alive at 6:50? It's Sunday morning.
Wasn't judgy. It was just
he was having an absolute meltdown. Yeah, in other words. And so, like, the fact this all came out the way it did was so funny. And then I saw Craig first texts us. This is just me and Danny. That, hey, by the way, can you get this done? Can you like move this guy out? Because he hadn't read all the other texts yet. And then he comes back after reading the Ringer Fantasy League text. And he's just like, what the fuck?
What the fuck just happened here? This is like a routine thing.
You threw me under the bus.
I'm happy to post the text to Instagram so people can see how much you sent on this. Because I feel completely comfortable and confident in the fact that this was way over the top.
It was long. I thought we were going to get scared. I looked at it as like, you know that scene in Veep where they're just like, oh, you want to go through the files, and they just give like all the files. I'm like, I literally was like, this is going to take up my whole day in this fucking thread, and I'm like, I'm going to hear everything I think, and I'm going to get it all done right now, and then no one cared. And you're right. Maybe that was crazy. I also think there was a higher percentage chance than you think.
It's not
that
nobody cared. Everybody accused me of cheating because you sent that.
Cheating.
The funniest part about this whole thing is
you were directly responsible for the responses of all of those people who then were like, wait a minute, what's going on? Cheating. Like, and when it was totally
I said I had to edit Craig's roster because of a glitch, people would have been like, cheating.
Well, you should have tried that first, and then you could have sent the screed later.
Right.
Yeah, probably. Sorry.
I totally forgot about that, Craig. He was like harassing me at 5:30 in the morning about this. I'm just like, what
and wait, what was he harassing you to do?
He said he needed my help.
For what?
And then he said, "Are you alive?"
I want to be like
an hour and a half later.
Text?
I'm like, dude,
should I explain myself or not?
Oh, it was funny. That was funny.
He whipped himself into a frenzy.
Also, I don't appreciate you saying brutal week for Craig requesting take back seats for Ray. I fucking texted you guys first asking if I should do that, and you said yes. I had that text as well. Like, what the fuck?
I know you did. That's why I felt like I needed the sunlight, because I'm like, they're gonna say we're all doing take back seats.
No, but you said
culture of take back seats.
You said Craig tried to take back the Ravens bet. Brutal week for him. We did.
I did. I threw you under the bus for that. I did.
What kind of commissioner are you?
You got to rule with an iron fist.
I guess. I guess that's what that is.
I will say we're leaving out the fact that I did change your roster. You asked me and I did it.
No, we didn't.
The price
that
was to get made fun of in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have. It's a glitch.
But also, if you ever have to ask the commissioner to do anything, and like I have to go to commissioner tools and like change it, the price of getting everyone to be like, yeah, the commissioner can edit stuff whenever he wants is like, you got to make fun of the person. It's the toll.
No, yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's totally fine. It just the way you did it was to me just like out of control. but maybe, you know.
It's truly waking up on a Sunday morning to like a fucking novel of text.
Dude, I'm like trying to pack up to drive home from the bay. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? What is going on?
All right.
Oh, that was funny.
Anyway, Craig lost anyway.
I did lose, which again, the roster would have been the same either way.
1 point, and it would have been really funny if you
less than 1 point. I lost by 0.6.
That's crushing. It would have been way funnier if you'd won because of the move.
Yeah, the real thing that we got made fun of for was the Ringer 107 trying to take back the Ravens bet, and then we won. They fucking covered.
Yeah, that's
reverse
like,
karma.
You know what they always say about a multiple choice test? Like, don't actually switch your answer at the last second. Yeah. Like, just keep whatever you said.
But wait, isn't there a whole book about how you should change your answer? Isn't that like a whole thing?
I think it's never changed back. I think it's the idea. I think I forget what it never, which I guess isn't what we did, but
yeah, I read that book. Ooh, what's it called? It's by.
Didn't we joke once about doing a segment on the show about segments of books we can't remember by titles we don't know?
Yeah, I read this book. It was really good, by the way.
I can't remember what they said, who wrote it, or the title, but the gist.
Or maybe it is. Oh, wow. I can't remember. Fuck.
You'll get back to us.
Yeah.
All right. Can I read one other fantasy court here? I guess that was worked. Good emails?
Yeah,
all right. We'll do one other court here. I think this is
we got to end on something a little happier than that.
This is so simple. And
it's called Think Again by Adam Grant.
There we go.
Yes.
Oh, you've talked about that book. Yeah.
It's a good book. And it is about it. Like changing your answer often ends up being the right move.
Your first answer is really the best.
Do we get a fantasy court drop for this next fantasy court?
Yeah, we should.
I don't know if we have one.
Well, he does the drop. Craig's right. Like all these people probably think less of me now, which is funny.
But he did change Craig's roster.
I mean, that's the thing we're leaving out. I did it.
But like the alternative is you don't, because you to protect the sanctity of the Yahoo glitch.
No, I honestly, you're right. I was just beginning to be like, oh my God, they're going to be like rigged. And I'm going to be like, I can't deal with this. And you're right.
Yeah. So Heifetz thought everybody else was as unhinged as he is. And he lives in that.
I have seen Mallory Rubin veto a trade. Mallory can unhinge herself at any time for fantasy football.
Sean Fantasy he responded with some like JFK reference.
Yeah, the JFK. Yeah. That was good.
It's funny. The people who you were the most afraid of, like Bill didn't even respond. And you're like terrified that the CEO
Probably never read it.
No, of course not.
I was learning about it like
2,000 words. It's like,
oh my God. All right.
Wait, we do have the drop for this fantasy.
Oh, sick.
All right. Definitely don't tell anyone about this thing that you're doing.
I don't really want to be handcuffed.
The definition of an object is a material thing that can be seen and touched. Did we determine if a cloud is an object?
We changed our answer on that one.
I don't think so.
Because it obviously can be seen, but can it be touched?
We changed our answer on that.
I don't know if we came to a conclusion, Craig.
You touch a cloud?
Can you touch fog?
Yeah. Right?
I wouldn't call fog an object.
But, I mean, that's the closest we're gonna get, right? Like a smoke machine or fog.
Craig, read the definition again.
When a plane flies through a cloud, is it touching the cloud?
Yeah, I guess.
If you're moving it, you're touching it.
Okay, fine.
Right?
It's an object.
I don't know.
I guess it depends whether touch is just since like the perception of touch, like as you perceive it, or just literally whether the atoms are touching. Because like obviously you're touching the cloud. Whether you're perceiving it is up to interpretation.
Right. Like, are we touching air every day? We are.
Yeah. Like literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't think about it.
Okay.
Wind.
Wind touches us.
Yeah.
This is like that sort of riddle or trick or whatever about how water isn't actually wet.
Oh, I know.
Just gets you wet.
It's like, fuck off. Wet is only when water touches you. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What is that meme you always post, DK? Your joke is factually incorrect. Or something?
Yeah,
I always
a guide to dying alone.
Oh, I forgot about the second one.
Your joke is factually incorrect. A guide to dying alone.
That's so good.
All right, let's do this fantasy court.
What do we got?
This is so simple. I love it. This is from Max.
Maximilian. Maxwell.
The subject line
Max
is just
Bone.
the subject line is just I accidentally accepted a very lopsided trade.
All right.
And the email is, as the subject says, I accidentally accepted a lopsided trade. I don't know what else to say. Look at the offer. It's terrible. I replied, basically told the guy to fuck off. And then I texted and then he just hit the button to hit accept. He just sausage fingered. He just thumbed the accept button and just hit it. And then immediately
talk about your all-time backfires.
Immediately texted the trade guy and the commissioner and was like, I don't want to do this at all, please. And he also sent an unhinged text, which is great. That's clearly the theme of the day.
This text is only 3 paragraphs.
Yeah,
long.
I saw
yours was
6
like
of these.
7.
So this guy just butt dial accepted a trade.
But Dial accepted a trade. Like he was like,
After
in the middle
telling
of
the guy
laughing
to
at
fuck
it.
himself. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is so funny.
And he's asking, like, should we be allowed to undo this trade?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I think
Right?
yes. It's just funny to think that the answer is I accepted it by accident because I'm an idiot.
His eyes just went towards the green button and just clicked accept.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you think, DK? Undo this, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think my general rule for commissionership is just do what's fair.
Yeah.
For the good of the league, I guess. He didn't want to accept this. Maybe he should have to some sort of punishment for fucking it up though.
In this text, he said, I fumbled, I slipped in my tremors of laughter, I hit accept.
I think every single whatever site you use, like when you hit accept or reject, it should say, "Are you sure?" There should be a second click.
Yeah.
I
think most of
forget
them have that.
Is it Instagram now or TikTok? There's some feed where it used to say if you retweeted something, it would ask you if you want to retweet it, and now it just automatically does,
Which is wild.
which is crazy because you're like you could fat thumb it, and now you're just retweeting something that's just in your algorithm.
Yeah. Yeah. Gonna send Sydney Sweeney's Instagrams to other people's feeds. Like that's wild. All right. I want to read. There's an email here I have to read.
Okay.
All
This
right.
is from M Bone.
Another
M-Bone.
M-Bone.
So M Bone's breakfast was blueberry muffin and coffee with oat milk.
Oh, that sounds good.
Mhm.
I love a blueberry muffin.
Blueberry
Muffins-
muffins are the goat.
Someone just said muffins are breakfast cake, and I was like, "Fuck!" And I
Yeah, they're not very good for you
No,
I don't-
I mean,
per se.
I'm of that age where I tried to learn how to make muffins, and I was like, "Oh my god, is this what's in a muffin?"
yeah.
And
I mean, it's not like pancakes and French toast are good for you.
No.
Well, no, but at least I know when I pour liquid syrup that this is dessert, but I didn't realize
just
muffins
just
are cake.
pure sugar.
They're for sure just cake.
I really thought muffins were like a bread cake hybrid, and they're basically just cake.
I try to leave breakfast pastries to the weekend, you know?
Yes.
It's like, it's the best I could do.
Craig, you're so healthy.
I mean, not really. I have like 10 beers and a muffin on the weekend.
Yeah, but all the other aspects of your life, pretty good.
Craig's breakfast, 10 beers, yeah. Anyway, so M-Bone's story. So we asked for Premier League stories because I explained last week.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Ryan O'Hanlon, who said I did a good job. And that's all the only approval I need is he said that I did okay.
DeBundo said you did well, too, for the
I'll
record.
take it.
So
I was actually prepared for like ridicule, so I'm happy that I basically got the outline right. I forgot the most important part is that the Champions League is happening at the same time as the Premier League, which is crazy. But anyway, we asked for Premier League facts. M-Bone had the best one. M-Bone writes, my favorite Premier League story is the infamous story of Ali Dia. In advance, I'm not going to get any of these names right. But Ali Dia, fast forward or rewind. In 1995, this guy named, George Weah, W-E-A-H. George Weah wins the Ballon d'Or, which is like the player of the year. Like he's the MVP of all European soccer. And he playing for like PSG in Milan. And so he's like, the MVP of the whole continent. So there's this other Premier League team named Southampton. And a player actually gets in touch with the front office and gets the manager on the phone and says, hey, like, I'm George Weah's cousin. I grew up with him. Like, we played together. Like, I also played for PSG. I played in international competition like 13 times. I just need a contract. Like, give me a shot. Like, I'll join the practice squad. I'll do whatever. Like, just give me a jersey. Just give me a shot, please. And the manager's like, yeah, sure. You're the best player in the world's cousin. Sure. So like, give him a 1 month contract. And then the team has like this injury crisis and they actually have to dress him for a game like pretty quickly. And then there's more injuries. So he goes into the game. And this performance, by all accounts, is the worst performance in the history of the Premier League. Like Nathan Peterman left, like worst performance ever. And it turns out the guy made the whole thing up.
Why did they not check any of this?
They didn't check any of it. The manager just heard the story, was like, sure. And they did no due diligence and signed him.
Wait, what year was this?
95.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
He just called and said, I'm the MVP's cousin. And they fucking signed him and then played him.
That's so funny. Imagine if that happened now.
And this also isn't a lower level. Southampton at the time, it was like Premier League.
Do you think soccer, like, did he practice for a couple days and they were like, I don't know about this guy?
That's what I don't understand is how if he's scrimmaging, how he didn't
know about this guy. Who's this guy again?
Like, imagine if I was like, I'm Luke Rittenauer's nephew. Let me play in the NBA.
Yeah.
And I just show up and I'm clearly not good enough. Like, I don't know how that worked. Like,
this is
even
the
in
highest,
warm-ups,
one of the highest levels of the sport. What are we doing?
It's the highest level of the sport.
What the fuck?
I can't believe this happened. I agree, Craig. That was my question too. How did
in warm-ups you'd be like, this guy
ain't it.
This guy's not good.
This guy has no juice. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild. So he played one game and then got booted?
Yes. And then he did it again to some Swedish team. He did it 2 more times to 2 other teams that lied.
Wow, this is like Catch Me If You Can, but sports.
Yes.
Seriously.
Honestly, yes.
That's crazy.
So there you go. I thought that was wild. And then last email here, we got a lot of reaction to the cousins thing, the redacted email about should he go
once again, not
cousin.
actually cousins, but yeah.
Not actually step cousin.
Not even that.
Not step cousins. They're just
there's two people.
Moms live in boyfriend's niece.
Yeah, there's two people that have a connection.
Yeah.
Met through friends, really.
They're not even one of the 10% of people that are cousins that get married.
So, allegedly. So, I wanted to email... God, is this another M-Bone? That's crazy. A lot of
M-Bone. M-Bone.
When I was 15, this is not me writing this. When I was 15, my mom was hanging out with this guy, Barry. And at the time, Barry was introduced to us as her friend.
That's not why.
Barry.
That alone is funny.
Barry.
My mom was hanging out with this guy, Barry.
Barry.
Oh, man.
We began attending a lot of Barry's family functions.
Wait, sorry. This kid's 15 and his mom is dating Barry?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Barry had a niece, also 15. Being 15 and full of hormones, Barry's niece and I acted on this impulse almost immediately. Turns out, my mom and Barry, more than just friends. And so they dated for 2 years, and they were just overlapping dating. for like.
Wow.
So like, but they didn't live together.
No, it was his niece, not the daughter. But overall,
Oh,
So the mom and Barry were dating while the son and the niece were dating.
yes.
so how'd that go? Was it okay?
They broke
Was
up,
it
but his
weird?
point is, so he says, M-Bone says, the romance only lasted 3 months. My mom and Barry were only together 2 years. But to this day, I am now in my mid-30s. My friends still bring up the time I fucked my cousin. People don't forget.
That was like 10 years ago.
It's like, that was
People
like
don't
8 years
forget.
ago, asshole. Man.
Again, he should not say cousin.
Yeah.
It's not cousins.
I think the
Throwing
friends
around the
brought it
word
up.
cousin loosely.
yeah.
Last one here.
Words
from
words mean something.
I will say, though, overwhelming, the emails were basically like, do it. It was a lot of people who
Really?
were like, yeah, my friends, a lot of people were basically had same stories of, like, there's a whole diverse range, but they all were just versions of, yeah, like, someone was dating the guy, and then the guys, and the whole theme was, yeah, there's no blood here. Why is it weird? And, like, it was, honestly, 30, maybe 40 to 1 of people being like, a handful of people were like,
All
this
right.
is fucked up, and it was 30x people being like, oh, just do it, kid.
The only argument to not do it is just that it will be really awkward if it doesn't
Awkward.
work out at family
Right.
functions.
Yes,
That's pretty much it.
That was the argument against is, are you thinking this through? But the tension
Yeah.
is also bad.
Yeah.
The only thing worse than everyone knowing you guys have fucked is everyone quietly thinking you should fuck. Like, that's also kind of weird.
It's not as bad.
That's not worse.
True.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Okay. I'm going to
I
write
can't
a
wait
really
to find
long
out if
text.
there's an update to this story someday.
We will. So, Arbone.
Waiting with bated breath. Arbone.
Arbone. I want to know the names, but I understand if they want.
I'm not volunteering these people for this information.
Too sick and twisted.
Did they add their breakfast or what?
Oh, you want me to pull it up?
Yeah. I need to know.
Arbone might have forgot, but I'll read someone else's breakfast because there's a lot of good breakfasts.
Yeah, just give us a fucking breakfast.
This is a
That's all
different
we need.
Arbone.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh,
Any breakfast will do.
Red Bull and a cig.
Okay.
Fuck yeah. Fuck
Love
yeah.
how this guy's living his life.
He says, just kidding, but I did say that as a new hire at a corporate icebreaker in my first year of college, and they were appalled.
That's awesome. I like this guy.
Appalled.
Whichever breakfast, Red Bull and a cigarette, and
Amazing.
then he gets fired.
Celsius and 4 Zins.
D-Bone's breakfast was IKEA halterall muesli with berries. I don't know what that is.
Maybe like yogurt?
Sounds like it. Anyway,
Okay.
Arbone's email. I'm not going to lie. It's really complicated to keep track of some of these stories.
Okay.
So I'm going to paraphrase this email because the names and the it's too hard to keep track of. So I'm going to tell it from the perspective of basically, I'm going to redo the story. I'm just going to explain it as simply as I can. There is a husband and a wife. They are no relation whatsoever. A normal husband-wife couple. And then the husband's father and his parents are like 92, 93 years old. And the husband's mother passes away. So the husband's father is a widower. And husband's mom has passed away. And I believe the wife's
I know where this is going.
dad has passed away.
Got it.
And the two parents married each other.
Yeah.
The husband's dad married the
They
wife's
got
mom.
married in their 90s?
The wife's mom, not sure she was in her 90s.
Okay, probably 80s.
Yeah. And so
Makes the inheritance go a little easier, probably.
Sure.
Right?
that one, there's a lot going on there.
I feel
on
like
one
this
hand,
was
it's
in a
like-
show or a movie or something. I feel like this is something that we've seen in pop culture somehow. But yeah, it's very interesting. That would be very weird.
Yeah, I mean,
husband's dad married the wife's mom.
and that's
that's
actually
bizarre.
kind of unfathomable. Applying that to my own life, like when you just like actually think about what that means for yourself if that happened.
Yeah, yeah.
The funniest
that-
thing for Arbone, so Arbone ends it like, look, some family member thinks it's weird. I think it's great when you're 90, don't have years to date around, just get the companionship. Also, it's not like they're fucking. To which I replied to Arbone, I get it, but like, dude, they're definitely fucking.
If
Heifetz just ruined everything. He ruined the relationship with the father because of that.
Grow up, Count Chocula.
did they need to get
Peter
married?
Pan.
Couldn't they just like see each other? They had to get married officially.
Craig, yeah, they did.
Okay.
I don't know.
Like, that just makes it so much more official, obviously.
Yeah.
There are, I've heard a lot of stories about this, that like nursing homes, people are just crazy horny.
It's like the Olympic Village.
It is the Olympic Village.
Yeah. Why
They're
is that?
We got nothing to lose at this point. Let's just go
Is it
for
like your hormones start ramping back up in old age? Like what's going on?
No, I think it's the same reason old people say
just
what's
a lot
on
of
their mind.
single people.
They don't give a fuck anymore, so to speak. Like they don't care.
Yeah.
Try to seize the day, Craig.
Yeah. Okay.
What else?
But
they got
apparently
going
that's
on?
like a real thing.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like, I'm not going to get anybody pregnant. Let's go wild.
All right, this email really brought down the vibe. All right, well, we can get out of here. Thank you, DK. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Ronak. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Kai. Thank you, everyone who emailed in. Thank you to Arbone. Shout out, companionship. Thank you, Redacted, for being vulnerable.
Shout out companionship.
Emails to ringerfantasyfootball@gmail.com for any other cousin stuff, any other weird athlete stories. We'll take catch me if you can stories, like people running around, like whatever you got, we'll take. Fantasyfootball.theringer.com, our rankings out this week, previewing the week, and then we'll have those up. And then I think that, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Ringer Fantasy Football. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, George Michael. I was thinking of George Michael Bluth.
Okay.
The cousin.
The cousins thing.
Give me sharing a room with your cousin.
George Michael, great voice. Wham.
Yeah.
Last Christmas, one of my favorite Christmas songs.
There's a video circulating that it's a guy driving a car and doing donuts in an intersection, and like a cop is chasing him, and it's just to the George Michael song. I don't know the name of it. It's just it's the most famous one with like the saxophone. What's it called? Hold on, let me look it up.
The most famous. Oh, is it George Michael or Wham?
Careless Whisper.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's like doing donuts, running away from the cops, just like singing. It kind of makes the song slap a little bit.
That song, we don't have a word for it, but that song has had like a whole rebirth on social.
It has.
It has, for sure, yeah.
It's like the most famous elevator music of all time.
Yeah.
It's a banger.
It's basically like a Kenny G song with lyrics.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm not gonna lie, Googling George Michael right now, I'm like, he kind of got the Saquon going on with just the one earring of the cross. I actually didn't know that was that old.
He was an icon, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like now that Saquon just got the George Michael, it's not so cool.
Harrison Ford also been rocking the solo earring for a while.
Would you guys ever do an earring?
I don't think so.
Not now.
But when?
I did the mid-aughts classic thing where I did like the top of my ear or whatever.
You did?
Yeah, for a little while.
Like in the cartilage up top?
Yeah, whatever that's called.
How old were you?
Like 22 or something like
What
that.
was it? Like a stud?
No, it was a hoop.
You had a hoop?
So it was like popular in the mid-aughts.
You were
I
so
would not
punk.
do that now.
What was the inspo? Is it just like in the water? Or was
I
it a
don't know.
specific person?
It's just like my buddy and I went and did it. It's
That's
like I don't think it like it, I haven't seen anyone with this for a very, very long time. So,
Girls. I mean, I've seen a lot of girls.
Yeah, a lot of
that
girls
have
do it now.
But
Yeah.
what were how? I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what the origin of the earrings are. Like, was just everyone
I
getting
don't
them?
know. I don't know. It was a thing for a while.
How long did you rock it?
Not very long.
Did it
It was
hurt?
kind of on a lark. What's that?
Did it hurt?
No, not really.
Was this at a mall?
No.
You guys know about my stupid tattoo, right? Where I got a freckle tattoo.
Didn't you just get a dot to say you have a tattoo?
Yeah, me and my friend got dots on our arms. Looks like shit now.
It just looks like a freckle.
Oh, it's terrible. It's on my forearm. It's like all faded. It looks like crap.
It looks badass. You look like a sailor. You sailor you.
You sailor.
Wait, will you show it to the camera?
Oh yeah, if I can, yeah. It's like gonna be really hard to see.
Because it's a 10-year-old dot.
Gotta zoom in.
No, just get closer. No. Oh my God, there it is.
You have multiple freckles. I can't tell which
It is a different
Oh,
color than your other freckles.
It's that.
Can this be the thumbnail? Just Craig pointing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm inked up.
What was the tattoo artist's
Nice.
response to you saying I want a dot?
I think she was like, "You guys are fucking losers."
I bet she still tells that story.
Yeah, because it took us a while because there's like a minimum payment required to just like break out a new needle essentially. So it was always like $100, $150 wherever we tried in New York and then LA because it was with my buddy who I lived in New York with after I graduated. And we couldn't find anybody who would do it for a reasonable price because we're like, hey, it's literally a dot. And then somewhere in LA, I think they did it for like $20.
$20.
I mean, I'm like, that's a dot. Come on.
If I give you $20, will you just go bzz?
Yeah. It was worth it
DK,
to send the photo to my family of like me in the middle of getting a tattoo. And then we sent it to my family group chat just to freak them out. It was great.
Did you put like a giant covering, like the plastic covering or whatever?
Oh yeah. We definitely
like,
hammed it up and tried to make it seem like I was getting like the Ben Affleck Phoenix on my back.
Like, you want to see my new arm piece? That's good. Heifetz, you ever gonna get tatted up?
I have a couple in store, yeah.
Oh, really?
I think Jack and I, yeah. I think
Couple in store.
Matching?
Nice.
We're thinking it, yeah. I think I think I want the outline. I want my cat's ears because they clip my cat's ears. See, now you guys are gonna bring it up, but they clip the cat's ears because it's like a.
Where are you gonna get
cat. So now you're like, fuck, he's talking about the cat, but I want.
Just don't do the voice.
One ear. I love my cat, but he's got.
Are you gonna do it on the kind of like on the small of your back?
Honestly,
so when you bend over, people can see it.
That's pretty good. I like that.
That's good. I never
into
thought of that. You know, if I reach up for something really tall, you could see it.
It's sexy. It's provocative.
That's good.
Now
I
we're
think
talking
the
about
punishment
it.
next year should be. I think punishment next year we should have like a temporary tramp stamp tattoo.
Yeah, I'm down. Temporary tattoos, sure.
Like a henna?
Yeah,
Sure.
those are great.
My brother got one of those
last? Like a week.
Well,
or
my
two
brother
or
got
longer?
one of those like tattoos because he basically. I get the idea where he was like, I think I want a tattoo in this one place, and he was like, there's like a year-long tattoo, and he's basically, I want to live with it for a year, and then if I like it, we'll get it like done.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's just gonna dissolve into your blood, like it just goes away. That seems a little weird. He was like, yeah. So anyway, 2.5 years later, I was like, is that thing going away? He's like, no, I think they lied.
Really?
It's good though. He got it touched up though, for real. But it was just, I was like,
Oh
yeah,
my
that
God.
never sounded.
You know what? I was just thinking of the other piercing that used to be really popular was like the bar that goes through two spots in your ear.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they're called. They're like, what are those called? Industrial or I can't remember what they're called, but we should have that be a punishment. You have to get one of those. Keep it in for 6 months. No?
Didn't you veto the piercing as a punishment this year at the draft?
I don't think so.
Who did?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's called an industrial.
All right. Goodbye, everyone. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.